Okay, we're talking about how to get out of a funk. And, I can actually speak to this personally because I was in one yesterday, as recently as yesterday.
Yes, you were.
And the reason that this is really important for all of you is you think about, staying ahead of the game. We're in the fastest paced business environment that we've ever seen before. And we don't really have the luxury of getting in a funk and staying in a funk. So I know that you're all going to get into a funk and you're all going to have those off days. What we're really hoping to do is help you shift that to maybe an off moment or a couple of moments rather than a bad day.
Yeah.
So
define a funk.
Define a funk. Well, let me tell you what it feels like.
Funk's a funny word, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of a funny word. I can tell you. So just yesterday, I was feeling this. And, for me, I've worked on this particular part of my personal and professional growth for so many years that I don't struggle with it nearly as much as I used to. I mean, I used to not just have a bad day. I might even have a bad couple of days, possibly a bad week if I allowed something to derail me.
Yeah.
And it used to be quite common that I would stay in be frustrated about whatever was frustrating me for way too long, not recognizing that I had full control over my emotions.
And you are my hero as far as just being able to, when I can see you could potentially have a pretty rough day, you just power through. And I give you a lot of credit for it because I do not have that ability to just power through. I'm kind of a wimp that way. But, you did have a little bit of a funk yesterday. I could totally tell you were when you don't do anything in a day, it is highly unusual. That I could probably count on one hand how many times that's happened in the last 10 years.
Yeah. And so the reason I wanted to do this podcast is because I knew better. I knew what to do to pull myself out of that funk. I did finally do it in the afternoon, but I let myself stay there longer than I have in a long, long time. And I thought, you know what? If I'm not using these strategies to pull myself out, how many other people are going through those kind of days? Like, it sucks to be having a day like that.
Sometimes it feels kind of good.
Well, it doesn't actually feel good. You may think at the moment that you just want to stay there, but the reality is nobody wants to be there. It feels terrible. You feel useless. You feel depressed. You start questioning everything. I mean, I don't know. First of all, I had very good reason to be there, and most of us too, right? When you get into that place and have that bad day, you probably have very good reasons for being there. And we don't know what other people are going through in any given day. We don't know what they've just experienced outside of work a lot of times. And there are people who have certain behavioral styles where they'd never share it. I mean, there are people out there who have such a great poker face, you wouldn't know if it's the best day of their life or the worst. So, sometimes we got to just not only give ourselves space, but really recognize that there are other people who are potentially going through some really tough times outside of work.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point that, we all have this facade on. Not many people are wide open, an open book. And when they are, it's kind of like, whoa, too much, right? Too much information again.